The galaxy did not notice it at first. There were no alarms, no warnings, no enemy ships, no bright explosions in the sky. Earth simply vanished. 1 second, it was there, the blue planet shining in space, covered with life, oceans, and clouds. The next second, it was gone, not destroyed, not bombed, erased. Billions of alien sensors watched Earth every day. Spy satellites, trade beacons, diplomatic channels. They all recorded the same thing, a silent disappearance. There was no debris, no floating rocks, no pieces of the moon, no falling cities. Just empty space where Earth had been. Some thought it was a glitch. Some thought it was a trick. Others whispered about weapons too advanced for understanding. But one thing was clear. The home of humanity had vanished. The silence before the storm across the galaxy. Leaders held emergency meetings. The Drell Empire, which controlled 300 star systems, sent spies to search for human survivors. The Ixari Republic held their breath. They had just signed a peace treaty with Earth. Even the Arcturan hive, an insect species with no emotions, paused in confusion. Why? Why would humanity erase its own home? Why would Earth disappear without a single warning? For thousands of years, Earth had been called the cradle of war. Humans were famous for survival, for danger, for adapting faster than any other species. Aliens traded with them but feared them. They respected their technology but stayed cautious. But now the humans were gone, or were they? The last transmission 6 hours after Earth vanished. A signal arrived. It came from a location just outside Earth's solar system. The message was short, and it sent fear into every intelligent species. We are the burned ones. Earth is gone. But humanity survives in fire. The message was sent from a ship called the Fireborn. No one had heard of this ship before. It was not listed in any military database. Its shape was strange, not like normal human ships. Some said it looked like a spear made of burning metal. Others said it had no real body, just energy, shadows, and shifting forms. But one thing was certain, humans were not extinct. They had survived. And they had changed. Who were the burned ones? Alien governments started asking the same question. Who were the burned ones? Were they humans, or something worse? Old human legends spoke of the phoenix, a burns itself and rises from the ashes. Was this humanity's version of the phoenix? Had they destroyed Earth on purpose? And if so, why? The galaxies panicked. The Galactic Council called for an emergency meeting. 50 alien species sat in silence. Holograms of Earth's empty location floated above them. Admiral Sarth, a reptilian, commander from the Krix Dominion, spoke first. "This is impossible," he hissed. "Planets do not just disappear." A scientist from the Ixari Republic answered, her eyes wide with fear. "We checked the data. Earth did not explode. It did not collapse into a black hole. It was removed." Another alien leader spoke, his voice shaking. Removed by what? No one had an answer. The secret of Earth's last days while the galaxy argued. The Fireborn drifted silently through space. Inside the ship, Commander Lyra Kane stood at the window. She watched the stars with cold silver eyes. Her body was human, but changed. Her veins carried something more than blood now, something designed to survive anything. She whispered to herself, "We are not dead. We are not defeated. We are evolving." Lyra remembered Earth's last day. It had been peaceful on the surface. Children played. Cities worked. Skies were clear. But under the ground, in secret bunkers, humanity's leaders made the hardest decision in history. They had discovered something. Something that no other species knew. A danger far beyond war, politics, or survival. A cosmic predator. A force that hunted civilizations once they reached a certain level of technology. Earth scientists had seen the signs in the deep sky. Patterns in dying galaxies, dead civilizations, empty star systems, The predator was real. It was coming for Earth. So humanity chose to act first. The fire pact on Earth's last night. Leaders from every nation gathered in one place. They signed. The fire pact. It was a promise. If we cannot win this war, we will change the battlefield. Instead of waiting for the predator to attack, humanity would burn itself from history. Earth would be removed from space. Humanity would erase its home to hide its final move, but they would not die. They would survive. In Fire. The Fireborn's mission. The Fireborn was humanity's secret ark. Built in deep space. Beyond the eyes of alien spies, it held the next step of evolution. The strongest humans. The smartest minds. DNA samples of every living thing on Earth. And technology far beyond anything the galaxy had seen. Lyra Kane was chosen to lead them, not because she was kind, not because she was noble, but because she would do anything to keep humanity alive. The galaxy watches as the Fireborn sent its message. Alien empires scrambled. Some prepared for war. Some tried to contact the ship, but the Fireborn did not answer calls. It moved quietly, like a predator in the dark. The fear of the unknown. For millions of years, the galaxy had followed the same pattern. Species rose. Species fell. New empires replaced the old. But humanity had always been different. They did not play by the same rules. They learned faster. They fought harder. And now they had done something no one expected. They had burned their own home to protect their future. The question no one could answer: what would humans do next? Would they attack? Would they disappear into the void? Or would they become something no one could stop? Inside the Fireborn walked through the Fireborn's main chamber. Her crew was silent. Focused. Screens showed maps of the galaxy. Red markers flashed where the predator's signs were detected. The burned ones knew the predator was near. They had seen its shadows in the data. They had prepared weapons the galaxy could not imagine. Lyra touched the control panel. Her hand glowed. Softly, her body was linked to the ship now. She spoke quietly, her voice calm but sharp. Phase 1 is complete. Earth is gone. Humanity is untraceable. She looked at her officers, eyes burning with purpose. Phase 2 begins now. A warning to the galaxy before closing communications. The Fireborn sent one last message, not just to one empire, but to the whole galaxy. It played on every screen, every device, every ship's communicator. Lyra's face appeared, cold, controlled, determined. Her voice echoed through space. This is Commander Lyra Kane of the Fireborn. Humanity has survived extinction. We did not run. We did not die. We chose fire. Her eyes narrowed. Do not search for us. Do not follow us. The next time you see us will be when the galaxy burns. Asterisk. As the message ended, the Fireborn vanished into deep space. No one knew where it went. No one knew what the burned ones planned next. But one thing was certain. Earth was gone. Humanity was not. And the galaxy would never be the same. The galaxy did not sleep. After Earth vanished, fear spread like a virus. Alien governments tried to act normal. They held meetings, gave speeches, and told their people not to panic. But deep down, they were terrified, because Earth's disappearance was not the end. It was only the beginning. The ghost ship. Some alien spies found something strange in the outer sectors. A ship was moving silently between stars. It had no clear shape. It looked like a shadow wrapped in fire. Its name was written in ancient Terran code. Fiery Barani. The galaxy had never seen this ship before. It was not registered in any database. It was not part of Earth's known military fleet. But somehow, it carried the last survivors of humanity. A risky decision. One alien spy decided to get close. His name was Sethril, a member of the Veltrax Syndicate, a species famous for spying and stealing technology. His mission was simple: board the Fireborn. Find out what the humans were planning. Steal their secrets. He thought it would be easy. After all, humans had just lost their homeworld. How dangerous could they be now? The approach Thrill's small ship, the Shadowclaw, followed the Fireborn. Through empty space, the Fireborn did not use normal engines. It moved like a living thing sliding between dimensions, vanishing and reappearing. But Sethrill was patient. He waited. He watched. Finally, the Fireborn stopped near a dead star. It was the perfect chance. Boarding the Fireborn, Sethrill activated his stealth cloak. His body shimmered and disappeared from view. He flew his tiny pod toward the Fireborn. As he approached, he saw the ship up close for the first time. It was massive, bigger than any human ship he had ever seen. Its surface was black like burnt metal. Red lights moved along its hull, like veins under skin. Strange symbols covered the ship, old Earth languages, mixed with something new. Seth, our IL, felt a chill run down his spine. This is not a normal warship, he thought. This is something else. Inside the beast, when Sethrill entered the Fireborn, he expected alarms. But there were none. The ship was silent. Dark corridors stretched in every direction. Soft red lights pulsed on the walls like a heartbeat. He moved carefully, his scanner recording everything, but the readings made no sense. The walls were alive, growing, shifting, absorbing energy from space itself. The Fireborn was not just a machine. It was part machine, part life form. The burned one. As Thrill reached the main chamber, there, he saw them, the crew of the Fireborn. They stood silently, connected to strange machines. Their eyes were silver. Their skin had lines of light running under it. They were human. But not fully. These were the burned ones. They had changed themselves after Earth's last day. They had removed limits from their bodies. They had cut out fear, pain, and weakness. They had become something new, something designed to survive any apocalypse. Sethrill watched in horror as one of the burned ones opened her eyes. It was Commander Lyra Kane. She spoke softly, but her voice carried through the ship. "We see you, little spy." Sethrill froze. His cloak failed. His body appeared in the air. "You are inside our heart now," Lyra whispered. "And hearts burn intruders." The Fireborn's secret: instead of killing Sethrill immediately, Lyra ordered her crew to bring him to the memory chamber. There, she showed him something no alien had ever seen before. A giant hologram filled the room. It showed the universe as humans saw it now, not as stars and galaxies, but as a battlefield. There were dark spots in the hologram, places where civilizations had vanished. Entire galaxies empty. No survivors, no ruins, no traces. Something had eaten them. Lyra looked at Sethrill with cold eyes. "We found it, the predator of civilizations," she explained. There was a cosmic force, older than any species. It was not alive in the normal sense. It was a system, a pattern, a harvester of advanced life. Whenever a species reached a certain level of technology, it came for them. Earth saw it coming. That is why humans chose to burn their own planet, to hide their presence, to erase their signal, and to prepare for a counterattack. The trap the Fireborn was not just an escape ship. It was bait. Its purpose was to attract the predator, to lure it out of hiding. But the Fireborn was also a weapon. It carried technology built to fight, something the galaxy had never faced before. Weapons that used black hole energy. Weapons that bent time and probability. Weapons that could break. Earth's sky was calm on the last day. There were no warnings. No enemy ships, no explosions. Children played in parks. People ate meals with family. Trains ran on time. Cities glowed peacefully under the stars. But underneath the surface, the end of the world had already begun. The secret meeting beneath the Pacific Ocean. In a hidden bunker deeper than any submarine could go, humanity's leaders gathered. Presidents, generals, scientists, CEOs, all sitting together at one long black table. Their faces lit only by cold blue screens. They did not meet for war or trade. They met to decide if humanity would burn its own home, the threat. Beyond the stars, the leaders had discovered something terrible. For years, Earth's telescopes had seen strange patterns in deep space. Galaxies going dark. Civilizations vanishing without a trace. Technological species disappearing once they reached a certain level of power. At first, scientists thought it was natural. But then came the proof. Signals from dying galaxies showed something impossible, a pattern. A system. An ancient predator. Moving from one galaxy to the next. Feeding not on planets, but on advanced civilizations. The choice Earth scientists called it the harvester. It was not alive like a creature. It was more like a machine. A cold force of nature designed to remove threats from the universe. It waited until a species became too powerful. Then it came. It deleted them. It left no survivors, no records. Number. Warnings. Just silence. And now, the harvester had found Earth. The signs were clear: strange gravity shifts, data changes in quantum fields, dark matter movements near the edge of the Milky Way. It was coming. Commander Lyra Kane speaks at the table. One woman stood. Her name was Commander Lyra Kane. Her voice was sharp but calm. If we wait, we die. If we fight with normal weapons, we lose. She looked at every leader in the room. We must burn our own history. Remove Earth from the map. Make humanity invisible. The leaders whispered in shock. Destroy Earth? Erase their home? Was that really the answer? The fire-packed Lyra opened a metal case. Inside was a single sheet of glowing paper. It was called the Fire Pact. The document had one simple rule: if the harvester comes, humanity will burn itself from existence, then rise again in fire. Every leader had to sign it. Some cried, some hesitated. But all of them knew the truth. If they did nothing, Earth would be swallowed whole. This was not just a decision. It was a survival move. The final signatures, one by one. The leaders signed the Fire Pact. The president of the Global Union, the prime commander of Earth's military, the directors of the scientific core. Even the secret leaders, the ones hidden behind corporations and black projects, signed their names. Their hands trembled. Their faces were pale. But they did it, building the Fireborn long before the Fire Pact. The Fireborn had already started construction. In hidden space stations near black holes, in secret labs buried in Mars, in labs on moons and asteroids. The Fireborn was not just a ship. It was humanity's backup plan, a seed of survival, a machine and life form combined, a carrier of DNA, knowledge, and new technology. The burned ones, humans, who volunteered to evolve beyond limit strain for decades. They gave up families. They gave up normal life. They became something else. Not soldiers, not explorers, but post-human guardians. Earth's last day begins. The leaders return to their nations. They acted normal. They smiled for cameras. They shook hands. But beneath their smiles, they prepared for the end. In secret labs, Earth's greatest minds activated the event. Horizon engines. These devices would erase Earth from normal space, not explode it, not destroy it, remove it from the visible universe, shift it into a dimension. The harvester could not find. Saying goodbye. Some scientists cried as they pushed the final buttons. They knew they would never see Earth again. The oceans, the forests, the mountains, the ancient cities. All of it would disappear. But this was the price of survival. Humanity would burn its past to protect its future. The final hour, at exactly midnight, the process began. Satellites in orbit shut down. Global communications stopped. Energy grids collapsed on purpose. In space, the Fireborn waited silently, recording everything. Inside the ship, Commander Lyra Kane closed her eyes. She whispered the Fire Pact's words. In fire we fall. In fire we rise. Earth disappears for one last moment. Earth shined in the darkness. Then, silently, it vanished. No sound, no flash, just gone. Aliens across the galaxy watched in horror. Their sensors went crazy. What weapon could do this? What force could remove a planet like erasing a chalkboard? No one had answers. The Fireborn's role after Earth's disappearance. The Fireborn activated its second mission. Phase 2. Protect humanity's evolution. Prepare for the Harvester. Transform into the first post-Earth civilization. The burned ones opened sealed systems inside the ship. They started Project Phoenix. This project would upgrade humanity's minds and bodies. No more weakness. No more limits. Only survival. The message to the galaxy 6 hours after Earth vanished. The Fireborn sent a single message to the universe. We are the burned ones. Earth is gone. But humanity survives in fire. The real reason for the burn. The burned ones knew the Harvester watched from deep space. The Predator always came when civilizations grew too powerful. But Earth's sudden disappearance confused it. Where was the signal? Where was the noise of life? By removing Earth, humanity tricked the Harvester. They bought themselves time. The hunt begins. Commander Lyra Kane looked at her crew. Her eyes glowed softly with neural upgrades. We are not prey, she told them. We are bait. We will bring the Harvester close, and then we will kill it. Her voice carried no fear, only fire. The price of the fire pact. The burned ones knew there was no going back. They had sacrificed their planet. They had sacrificed their families. But they did it for a reason, to make sure humanity would never fall like the others. They would not be just another name in the list of lost civilizations. They would be the first species to survive. The Harvesters hunt. And if possible, they would end it forever. The warning to the galaxy. The Fireborn sent one more message, only to select alien leaders. Do not follow us. Do not search for us. We are not lost. We are not weak. We are becoming something new. Something designed for the next war. Preparing for the Predator inside the Fireborn. Engineers activated weapons hidden for decades. Quantum lances, reality breakers, anti-star torpedoes. These were tools humanity had never used before, because they were too dangerous, too powerful. But now, there was no choice. Commander Kane's Lyra stood in front of her crew. Her voice was soft, but sharp as steel. We burned Earth so we could survive. We did this to fight something worse than extinction. She looked into the endless void of space. We are not the last humans. We are the first of the next phase. The Fireborn is our cradle now. And from fire, we will reshape the stars. The next step. The galaxy waited, watching in fear. What would the burned ones do next? No one knew, but every empire, every race, every government understood one thing. Humanity had not given up. They had transformed, and their war was only beginning. End of Part 3. The final signal from the Fireborn was simple. Just 3 words appeared on alien screens. Phase 2 begins. And then silence. But in that silence, the galaxy trembled. Because they all knew the burned ones were still out there. And fire always spreads. The galaxy thought humanity was gone. But they were wrong. Humanity did not disappear. They changed. They became something new. Something no one had seen before. And now, the galaxy would find out what that meant. Inside the Fireborn moved silently between the stars. Its engines made no sound. Its walls shifted like living metal. Inside, the last crew of humanity prepared for the next phase of existence. They called themselves the Burned Ones, but they were not normal humans anymore. They had crossed a line that no other species had dared to cross. Commander Lyra Kane's mission. Commander Lyra Kane stood in the command center. Her silver eyes stared at the galaxy map floating in front of her. Each star was marked. Each alien empire was listed. But none of it mattered now. Lyra had a different goal. We are not here to rebuild Earth, she told her crew. We are here to become something the galaxy cannot predict. Lyra touched the control panel. Her skin connected with the Fireborn directly. Her mind linked with the ship's core. She could feel its systems moving like blood in her veins. She could hear its data streams like whispers in her ears. This was not technology anymore. This was evolution. The change the burned ones had made a choice. They refused to stay human in the old way. They wanted to survive the harvester. And for that, they needed to upgrade everything. Their minds, their bodies, even their emotions, the physical transformation inside the Fireborn's medical chambers. Humans lay in silver pods. Machines worked silently around them. Genetic changes were happening at the smallest level. Muscles grew stronger. Bones became lighter but tougher. Nerves were upgraded to carry faster signals. Skin was layered with adaptive nanotech armor that felt like normal flesh but could block lasers or seal wounds in seconds. Some humans chose more extreme upgrades. Eyes replaced with sensor lenses. Arms fitted with tools, weapons, or data interfaces. Lungs rebuilt to breathe in space or under oceans. They were not doing this for fun. They were doing it because the old human body could not survive the new universe. The mental transformation. Burned ones did not stop with their bodies. They upgraded their minds. 2 neural chips linked them directly to the Fireborn systems. Memory implants allowed them to store huge amounts of information. They removed fear from their brains. Fear was useful for animals, but not for survivors of extinction. They kept empathy but controlled it. They did not want to become cold machines, but they needed to stay focused. Their emotions were now tools, not problems. Sadness could be turned off when needed. Love could be protected from corruption. Anger could be shaped into perfect control in battle. The new society, the burned ones, created new laws for their society. They did not believe in governments anymore. They believed in missions. Each member had a purpose, not a rank. Lyra was not just a commander. She was the guide for the species' next step. Every decision was made for one reason: survival beyond the predator. They also created new rules for life and death. If a burned one died, their mind data was stored in the Fireborn's core. Their knowledge and personality lived on as part of the ship's memory. In this way, no one truly died anymore. Why they changed? Some alien species asked. Why did humans change so much? Why didn't they stay the same? The answer was simple. The universe had changed. So humanity changed too. They saw what happened to other civilizations. They saw how the harvester wiped out races that stayed soft and comfortable. The burned ones refused to follow that path. The predator's pattern, the harvester did not kill with weapons. It removed species from reality when they became too advanced. It saw growth as a threat. It waited until civilizations reached a certain level. Then it erased them. Humans decided to break the pattern. They would become something unpredictable, something the harvester could not classify. The Fireborn's true nature. The Fireborn was not just a ship. It was part of the burned ones now. Its walls were alive with biometal. Its core was linked to every crew member's mind. If the ship was attacked, it could heal itself. If a crew member was hurt, the ship could repair them. The Fireborn was their body. The crew was its mind. Together, they were a new life form. First contact after Earth's fall. Weeks after Earth vanished, an alien ship tried to contact the Fireborn. It was a peaceful ship from the Ixari Republic. They sent a message: we wish to understand. What have you become? Lyra answered, her face calm but her eyes sharp. We are not humans in the old way. We are humanity's next version. We burned our past to build our future. The Ixari captain asked, are you still friendly? Lyra's answer was honest but cold. We are not enemies. But we are no longer part of your game. We follow our own rules now. The galaxy reacts. Alien leaders watched the burned ones carefully. Some feared them. Some wanted to copy them. Others wondered if they could stop them. But deep down, everyone knew Humanity was no longer part of normal civilization. They had stepped into a new category. New technology. The burned ones developed tools the galaxy had never seen. Weapons that bent probability. Armor that adapted to any environment. Engines that could slip between dimensions without leaving a trace. They created matter seeds, small objects that could grow into ships, weapons, or habitats when planted in space. They invented time slow fields to give them more moments to think during battle. They even started experiments on post-life communication, connecting with minds stored after death. The burned ones' purpose, despite all this power, the burned ones had a simple goal. They wanted to survive the next extinction wave. They wanted to end the harvester's pattern. To do that, they had to become something the harvester could not process or erase. They had to be more than a species. They had to be a force of nature, preparing for the final war inside the Fireborn. Training continued day and night. Burned ones practiced in simulated environments, black hole battlefields, starless voids, galaxies collapsing in real time. They prepared for situations no normal human could survive. Their minds learned faster, their bodies healed quicker. Their ships grew stronger. A new kind of human. The galaxy slowly realized the truth. Humans were not extinct. They had evolved into something the galaxy had never seen before. They were not conquerors. They were not victims. They were post-extinction survivors. And their fire was still growing. Lyra's message. Lyra recorded a private message for the galaxy. She knew other species would eventually find it. Her words were simple. We do not seek war with you. We do not wish for your destruction. But understand this, we will never again be prey. We are the burned ones. We are the future beyond fear. What comes next? The galaxy waited. Would the burned ones attack? Would they disappear forever? Or would they remake the universe in their image? No one knew the answer. But every empire, every race, every creature in the galaxy understood one thing. Humanity had survived. And survival had changed them. The Fireborn's final message as the Fireborn moved deeper into unknown space. Its last broadcast echoed across the stars. We are not here to take your worlds. We are not here to control your lives. We are here to build something new. Something that cannot be harvested, erased, or ended. From fire we rise. And then the signal cut out. End of part 4. The Fireborn vanished into the void. Its engines left no trail. Its crew left no weakness. Only one thing remained clear. The new humans had been born. And nothing would stop them now. The galaxy whispered in fear. A force beyond understanding had hunted civilizations for millions of years. It was the shadow no one wanted to see, the end of empires. The silence after war. It had a name known only to a few, the Harvester. The ancient threat. The Harvester was no ordinary enemy. It was not a race, not a warship, not even a living creature. It was a cosmic force, an ancient machine, a hunter of civilizations. For millions of years, it moved through the universe, watching, waiting, collecting. Once a species reached a certain level of technology, the Harvester appeared. It erased everything: planets, stars, entire systems. No one knew why. No one knew how. The signs. Earth's telescopes first saw strange signals 20 years before the final day. Patterns in cosmic radiation. Unusual gravity waves near the edge of the Milky Way. Scientists called it the approaching shadow. They sent secret probes beyond the solar system. Most never returned. Those that did came back empty. No data, no clues. The warning. The Harvester sent a warning to Earth. Though no one knew it. It was a signal so powerful that it could not be ignored. Humanity's best minds studied it. In secret, they understood one thing. The Harvester was coming. Choice to burn. Earth's leaders faced a terrifying choice. Fight and be destroyed, or disappear and survive. They chose survival. They made the Fire Pact, a plan to burn their home. To hide from the Harvester, to prepare for a new war. Why burn? Burning Earth was not destruction. It was transformation. The planet did not explode. It was removed, shifted into a hidden dimension where the Harvester could not find it. The Fireborn's true role. The Fireborn was not just a ship. It was a weapon. Trap. A new home. It carried humanity's last hope and the technology to fight the Harvester. Inside the Fireborn commander, Lyra Kane stood in the command center. Her silver eyes scanned the galaxy map. Red dots flashed signs of the Harvester's movement. The enemy revealed for the first time. The burned ones had data on the Harvester's true form. It was a vast swarm, not like bees or ants. More like machines made of dark energy and black metal. They moved through space like shadows. They consumed stars to fuel their hunger. The hunt begins. The Fireborn sent probes into the darkness. They watched the swarm growing. The galaxy waited. The burned ones prepare. Lyra gathered her crew. This is not a war we can run from, she said. She touched a hologram showing the Harvester's swarm. We must fight. We must burn. We must become fire. The sacrifice. The burned ones trained for war. They knew many would die, but they also knew the galaxy could not lose humanity. Alien reactions. Alien governments heard rumors. Some wanted to help. Others wanted to destroy the Fireborn before it became a threat. The Fireborn's next move. The ship activated hidden weapons. Energy crackled along its hull. The final message before battle. Lyra sent a message. We are fire. We are the ashes of Earth. We will burn the darkness away. The silence before war was deep and heavy. Stars twinkled coldly in the void. Unaware of the storm about to break, the Fireborn glided through the darkness, a giant of black metal and living fire. Its crew, the burned ones, prepared for what no human had ever faced before. The warning signal. Suddenly, the ship's sensors screamed. Red lights flashed everywhere. A massive fleet of dark ships appeared on every scanner. The Harvester had come. Commander Lyra's order. Lyra stood firm on the bridge. Her silver eyes burned with fierce calm. Battle stations, she commanded. The burned ones moved with precision. The enemy fleet, the Harvester's ships, were nightmarish. They looked like black shards of glass, floating in space. Their surfaces shimmered with strange energy. They moved silently but with deadly speed. First strike. The Fireborn launched its first attack. Quantum lances shot through the void. Explosions lit up the darkness. The battle had begun. The Fireborns advantaged the burned ones used their upgraded minds to control the ship. They predicted enemy moves before they happened. Their weapons bent reality. The enemy strikes back. The Harvester's ships unleashed waves of dark energy. They tore through space like storms. Fireborns shields held, but just barely. A desperate maneuver. Lyra ordered a dangerous move. The Fireborn dove into a nearby black hole's gravity well. Time slowed. Space twisted. The Harvester's fleet struggled to follow. Inside the black hole, inside the gravity well, the Fireborn's weapons charged. They fired with incredible force. One by one, enemy ships shattered. Sacrifice, but the battle was costly. Several burned ones lost their lives. Lyra watched as her crew fell, knowing their sacrifice saved the mission. The turning point. The Fireborn's attacks grew stronger. They used new technology. Energy pulses that broke enemy shields. The Harvester's fleet began to retreat. Aftermath. The battle ended. The Fireborn was damaged but still moving. Its crew mourned their loss, but they were alive. The message. Lyra sent a message across the stars. We fought and we survived. The fire still burns. The galaxy watches. Aliens everywhere heard the news. Some cheered. Others feared. Humanity was back. The Fireborn's next steps. The ship repaired itself. The burned ones prepared for the next fight, because the war was only beginning. End of Part 6. The stars held their breath, and so did the galaxy. The Fireborn floated silently in deep space. Its hull was scarred from battle. Its weapons were still hot. Its crew, the burned ones, stood ready for what came next. They had survived the first fight against the Harvester. But they all knew that battle was just the beginning. The real test was still ahead. The calm. Before the Storm Commander Lyra Kane stood at the main viewing deck, she looked out at the dark universe. Stars blinked in the distance. Cold and uncaring, the enemy swarm was no longer in sight, but Lyra knew better. "This is not over," she whispered. The crew gathered in the command chamber, each burned. One connected their minds to the Fireborn's core, their thoughts linked together like a web of light. Dangerous discovery. The ship's sensors picked up something strange. A signal, unlike anything the burned ones had seen before. It came from deep inside a dark region of space, far beyond any mapped system. The data showed something impossible, a massive object. It was not a ship. It was not a planet. It was the Harvester's core. What was the core? For the first time, the burned ones saw the true heart of their enemy. The core was the source of the Harvester's power. It controlled the swarm. It decided which civilizations to destroy. It sent the commands that ended galaxies. Destroying it was the only way to stop the cycle. A dangerous plan. Lyra gathered the crew. Her voice was steady but serious. "We have found the Harvester's core. This is our chance. But it will not be easy." She showed them the images. The core was larger than any star. It was a machine made of black energy and gravity. It existed partly in this universe and partly in another. "If we attack it," Lyra explained, "we risk everything. But if we don't, we will always be hunted." The burned ones understood the danger, but none of them stepped back. The final test begins. The Fireborn charged its deepest systems. Weapons that had never been used before came online. The crew entered battle mode. Their bodies adjusted, bones hardened, muscles tightened, senses sharpened. Their minds locked into the Fireborn systems. They became one machine, one mind, one will. Entering the core zone, the Fireborn approached the Harvester's core. Space itself twisted around the fine-to object. Time slowed. Gravity bent. Colors shifted into strange shades the human eye had never seen before. The burned ones felt strange pressure on their minds. The core was not just a machine, it was a test. It sent waves of mental attacks into their thoughts, memories of Earth, faces of loved ones, the sound of oceans, forests, rain. It tried to make them weak by showing them the past. Resisting the test, Lyra's voice echoed through the Fireborn. "Do not fall into memory. We are not here for Earth, we are here for the future." The crew focused. They pushed away the images of old lives. They embraced the fire, their new purpose. The battle of minds. The core unleashed psychic attacks. It tried to break their will. But the burned ones had trained for this. Their minds were protected by the Fireborn's neural network. They stood together, one mind, one purpose. "We are humanity's last fire," Lyra whispered. "We will not break." Weapons of last resort. The Fireborn activated its most dangerous weapon, the Singularity Lance. A spear of collapsed matter, sharper than reality itself. It could pierce anything, even the core. But using it meant risking everything. If it missed, the energy might destroy the Fireborn too. The attack. The burned ones fired the Singularity Lance. It shot forward, faster than light. The core's defenses activated. Shields of gravity, walls of anti-energy, but the lance tore through them. The core shuddered. The universe seemed to scream. The final choice. The core sent one last message into the Fireborn systems. It offered a deal. "Stop this attack," the core whispered. "Join me. Become part of the pattern. Survive forever." It promised safety. No more war. No more pain. But Lyra answered with cold fire in her voice. "We are not here for safety. We are here for freedom." The lance hits. The Singularity Lance struck the core's heart. A massive shockwave spread across space. The stars near the core flickered. Time shook. The burned ones held onto each other. their neural links keeping them steady, victory or death. For a moment, nothing happened. Silence filled the void. Had they succeeded? Or had they destroyed themselves? Then the core, cracked dot light poured out bright, strange, beyond human understanding. The core collapsed in on itself. The harvesters. Network broke apart. Ships across the galaxy froze, then turned to dust. The enemy falls. The harvester was gone. The cycle of destruction was over. Civilizations across the universe cheered. Even though many did not know why, they only felt relief, like a weight had lifted from their souls. The burned ones survive inside the Fireborn. The crew breathed again. They had passed the final test. They had not just survived, they had changed. The universe. A new beginning. Lyra looked at her crew. Her silver eyes softened. "It's over," she said. "But it's also just the beginning." The burned ones were no longer hunted. They were no longer victims. They were the guardians of the new galaxy. The galaxy. React's alien leaders sent messages of thanks. Some sent warnings too. They wondered, what would the burned ones do next? Would they rule? Would they disappear? Lyra's final broadcast, the Fireborn sent one last message to the galaxy. Lyra's voice was calm, her words clear. "We did not destroy the Harvester for power. We did not fight for revenge. We did it because life must grow. Life must be free. We are the burned ones. We are humanity beyond Earth, and we are watching." A new era. The Fireborn turned away from the battlefield. Its engines lit up. Brighter than before. It flew into deep space, heading for new stars that no one knew where it would go. But one thing was certain. Humanity had passed the final test. And now, the galaxy belonged to the fire. The universe was silent again. But this time, the silence was peaceful. Because the burned ones were still out there, and the fire never dies.